A battle to the death. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another Total War Rome 2 siege battle. We are diving in with an epic 3 vs 3 as the Seleucids, the Romans and the Kingdom of Kush, hashtag 420, team up to go ahead and take on this legendary fortress. I say legendary, it's not really, I over-exaggerated there. The excitement got to me of this battle. We have the Spartans, the Seleucids and the Macedonians defending this barbarian settlement. I don't really know why they don't have stone walls, but I guess they just felt like they didn't want to defend a place like that. Actually, no, we could maybe do this. You know, maybe Macedon have gone north and they've called on their allies to come and aid them into, you know, the Thracian territory and, you know, stuff like that. That makes sense. So yes, as you can see, we have a pretty large setup, and I think this battle is going to be one hell of an engagement because, you know, what's better than, you know, a defensive faction? 3 defensive factions. You have Macedon, you have the Seleucids, and of course you have Sparta. So very good, you know, defensive units, lots of hoplites. You can see some of these weaker Spartan youths as the artillery goes flying overhead. You have some of the kind of like eastern levies of the Seleucids have access to, along with their heavier Spartan hoplites and stuff. So they're going to be pretty well off. Also, the Kingdom of Kush is definitely one of those factions that kind of gets brought because they're OP. You know, the Kingdom of Kush, I guess not a lot of people, like, you know, play them as much as they would play, like, Rome or something like that, you know, because Rome is Rome, Macedon is Macedon. The Kingdom of Kush, you know, they're cool, but they don't really have, like, that huge kind of, you know, grand-scale history that a lot of the other factions have. But they're super OP, so people bring them a lot in these engagements. I think every Rome Total War battle I do, the Kingdom of Kush are brought to the engagement just because they have really strong armor-piercing infantry, which I guess is so important in a engagement like this, where you're going up against a lot of hoplites and a lot of heavier infantry. So as you can see, the Romans have also gone a bit overkill on the siege towers. They've brought as many as physically possible, but I guess that's kind of the definition of the Roman Empire, right? It's just overkill, overkill, overkill. So yeah, we'll see how they get up to this. I mean, it's not a bad strategy. You know, adding a lot of fronts is always a great idea as the siege towers get brought forward. And it seems like, have they just brought a full pre-Marian army? No, they brought legionaries. Okay, an armored legionaries. For a second, I saw the Triarii and I was like, wait a second, did they just bring a bunch of, you know, Principes and Astarte? But no, we do have that, and the rays coming flying through onto these legionaries as they do push up these siege towers so awkwardly. So guys, if you want to keep on seeing these normal vanilla Total War battles, do let me know in the comments, because I don't tend to do a lot of Rome Total War 2 battles, but I think you guys really enjoy seeing it, even if it is just vanilla. So if you do let me know, honestly, in the comments, and obviously by dropping a like on the video. And let's try and break 350 likes on this Rome Total War battle. It'll be a good indicator to let me know that you guys actually do want to see a bunch more of these vanilla Rome 2 siege battles, because I think you guys do enjoy them quite a lot, actually. And it's something that surprised me. I kind of feel like a lot of you guys just enjoy the modded battles, but I actually do think that, you know, that these Rome Total War vanilla battles do go down really well. So if you guys do want to keep on seeing them, as I said, for the 3rd time, keep on letting me know. Oh, look at that arrow fire going on that lone soldier, that lone Spartan. He's like, I'm out of here. See you guys later. So for the most part, there's not too much action going on right now. We're just kind of waiting for the siege towers to kind of get in range. I'm surprised that the Roman artillery hasn't made a breach, but I guess with this many siege towers, you don't really need to. The Forlorn Hope has arrived. The Kingdom of Kush is going to be acting as that Forlorn Hope with their heavy infantry, and they're going to be charging in against the Spartans. So this is going to be the first proper engagement in this battle. And they'll be charging off, looking to engage these guys, and making pretty good progress. This is kind of one of the, I guess, the weird things about Rome 2 sieges, is the battle is kind of weird. Like, you have infantry on the wall and you want to defend the wall, but as soon as the siege towers come down, because the line is so thin, you don't really get this surround on the infantry, and the infantry can quite easily pierce through. So I've definitely noticed good strategies to do when stuff like this happens is to, like, if you have enough men, is to have like a unit engage them like this and then have another unit here to hit them. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do right here as they move forward. Another unit of Spartans. They also want to make sure they try and keep these towers alive for as long as possible because they are really strong. And there you go. You have the Spartans set up now. Or maybe not. Maybe they're going to go and try and defend elsewhere because you have a lot of siege towers coming up. Like, I think there's going to be a single clean part of this battlefield. The Romans are moving up more of their cavalry as well. Is there... Ooh, there's a little sneaky pass right here. The Spartans are pushing out some of their citizen cavalry, which I can't imagine will be able to duke it out too well with the Roman, the Roman heavy legionary cavalry, if that's what they've got. But it's a little bit of sneaky, a little sneak. Coming around the flank, and I think as well as that, they'll stay hidden because they'll be in the forest as well. So if they just be cautious, they might be able to quite easily take out like a big portion, maybe even kill the Legatus general unit. Wait, was there? Oh, this must have been a... Hey, wait, why did people die here? Was there already a cavalry? Oh, there must have already been a cavalry charge that I missed, unfortunately. Maybe it's just archer fire coming in. I'm not too sure. But either way, they need to be kind of careful because if this cavalry comes around, it could inflict a lot of damage. And they're also bringing out some spearmen as well, which is what I love to see. So has any other siege towers made it to the wall? Yeah, basically Kush have been the advanced force diving in. And you can see the battle is pretty hectic so far. There's a lot of defenders here. But obviously when the rest of the allies do form up, that's going to really start to stretch the defense of the Spartans and the Seleucids and the Macedonians, because they might just not have enough men to go ahead and commit to every single breach, and cracks might start to appear. You can see the Seleucid Persian infantry here fighting away against the Kush infantry. I mean, really the main goal for Kush is to try and take out these towers, because the longer these towers shoot, the worse it's going to be for them. So they need to try and take these out as quickly as possible. Oh, we also have some Roman Triarii as well, being advanced forward. So the Romans are now finally making their way with their 6 million siege towers, which I think there's going to be... Something's going to glitch out here, I can just already tell. With the legionaries and the Principes. They are legionaries as well, just not legion armored ones. And they'll be engaged against the Spartans, lightly armored Spartans. I think these are Spartan youths. But even the Spartan youths are worth 10 of the enemy. And you can see Kush making a great progress here. Out of interest, can we see how many men there are in this battle? Does it tell me in this game? I don't think it does, right? No, you can see stats. Yeah, it doesn't actually say until I guess the end of the battle. But I can tell you there's a lot of units in this battle. Probably, over, 12,000 probably. 3 full factions. Yeah, I would assume that'd be a lot of units in this battle. And you can see the Spartan line is looking really good as it just scatters through the battle line. The Seleucids have now made their first little indent into the enemy line, taking these walls quite nicely, and there's not actually much in the way to stop them. So just keep in mind as well, whilst this is going on, the attacking Seleucids have a red border around their flags, and the defending Seleucids have a blue border around their flag, because there is a Seleucid faction on either side. However, the Macedonians have brought out 2 units of cavalry, some Thessalonican horses right here. These are good lancers, so if they want to, they could quite easily smash into the side of the attacking Seleucids. I think right now, though, they're just waiting for everyone to get out of the settlement before making their move. Do the Seleucids have... Man, the Seleucids have just committed everything to this fight, haven't they? They really don't even have that much. I feel like the other factions have a ton more compared to the Seleucids, because they only really have this. Where's the rest of the Seleucid army? There's a couple units over here, right? No, these are the defenders, right? Yeah, these are the defenders. I feel like the Seleucid army attacking on this flank is really small, but maybe I'm just... Yeah, I honestly don't know. I feel like it feels really small. It's like only 10, 15 units. Maybe that was the kind of the rules to balance it out. That'd make sense. My god, there's so much javelin fire coming in on these guys as these Furios spearmen from Macedon have a pretty easy time with it. Close range. Look at that. Oh, these poor Seleucid infantrymen. There's so many javelins coming in. Hopefully they only have 1 or 2 more volleys before they run out of ammunition. I think that is pretty crucial. And here you go, the cavalry coming around here and just causing havoc in this back line. Lots of damage going in as they try and climb up all of the siege towers. And the Thorax swordsmen are going to have, yeah, a pretty difficult time. You can see the Romans. The Romans have so many men. They are just pouring in. But, oh, yeah, baby, we have a big engagement around here as the Spartan cavalry engage against the cavalry of the Romans. Killing some war dogs is nice. Now the Spartans are going to move on, I guess, looking to engage more and more of the Roman cavalry. There's some of the Seleucid citizen cavalry here as well. What happened to the rest of the... It's just a unit of spearmen there? Okay. For a second I thought the spearmen maybe would have engaged over here. It seems like they're going to end up getting caught right now and engaged upon against the Roman cavalry. But I imagine the citizen cavalry will be doing okay against this. They'll basically be able to dominate this. I think the Roman general Viligatus maybe needs to come over and aid in that fight if they hope to have, you know, a decent victory there. But I think for the most part, the attackers are making great progress on the walls, but it's not going undefended, right? The defenders are putting everything they have. Obviously, they're weaker tier units, you know, to try and slap the attackers, but it's not like they're not attacking here. It's just the advancing forces have so many men. Like, the Romans are just pouring into this battle. And you can see it is getting a little bit laggy, but honestly not too bad. A little bit of chop. You know, Rome Total War 2 is an old game. There's only so much the old engine can hold. And my computer is pushing it to its, pushing the engine to its limits. Rome 2 to its limits for sure in this one. More infantry charging down, supporting their Kush allies. Yeah, the Romans have quite easily, I think, taken this quadrant of the battlefield. But again, this is kind of only a beachhead rather than anything else. They haven't taken the gate, they haven't opened up any additional breaches. You know, the Seleucids still have a pretty good stranglehold on this choke point in. The Macedonians are securing this area really nicely with all the Thorios spears. Oh, okay, that makes complete sense now. I can't see the rest of the Seleucid army because it's hiding in the forest. That's why their army looks so tiny. They're just hiding in the forest, so they have a lot of their elite, you know, shield bearers and other hoplites sitting in there. Okay. I wasn't sure if this game did that or not, because some Total Wars allow you to see everything, and then others do what like this. And then Napoleon's the worst. You can literally see nothing. Even if it's like out in the open, you still can't see it if it's an enemy unit. You have to get like pretty close. So you get a lot of surprises. The Romans, though, this left flank seems extremely undefended by the defenders. I mean, they're throwing over some more of these Macedonian hoplites, but if the Romans can, I mean, if I was the Romans, I'd take basically all of this and just shove it down this flank and completely overwhelm their position. Because there is not much here. Like, the main defense is like over on the other side of the city. So they could be quite vulnerable. I do really like what the Romans are doing right now, though. They're trying to breach through these positions so that they can go and help out the other parts of the fight, which I think is such an important thing when it comes to team sieges. You have to just basically try and look for ways to push back with defenders, obviously, but also to like find holes in the defensive line so you can go ahead and make more and more. Because if the Romans break through this position, like for example, they're very close to breaking through this unit of Spartan youths. They break through this, they then smash into the back of these Spartans, probably routing them, and that frees up like all of these soldiers to run through this gap, turn left, go up this way, turn right, go up this way, go through the center. So it can be really, really big, because right now there's a lot of soldiers here, not really doing too much, right? Luckily now they're going to come in and hit this unit of Silver Shield swordsmen in the side. And that's going to force the Silver Shields to get out of there. Very smart move there by the defensive player, realizing we can fall back, we're not surrounded or anything, we can probably retreat back here and not take too many casualties. We're going to take a few as they obviously turn their backs to the oncoming infantry. But for the most part, they're going to be able to escape that. basically unharmed, which is, you know, very, very valuable. More infantry charging in on this side. Yeah, I think this side is going to be very crucial. But once this unit of Spartans breaks, which is literally about to, it will free up a large portion of the Roman army. We have more and more soldiers coming out of the woodworks. The Royal Peltists for the Seleucids. Very strong units. But the Macedonians are keeping the Seleucids at bay over on this flank. I mean, I say that, the Seleucids have a lot of soldiers here, and especially now the Romans are turning up as well. Now, this is a brutal battle for the walls. I'm digging the hell out of this. This is like some large-scale engagements. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see indeed. Just like huge pushes. There's like 4,000 men clumped up here just trying to break through. And the Romans have done the impossible. They have broken through the Spartans on that flank. And now they're going to come flying into the back of these infantrymen here. They're going to try and load up some Pila. And that's just going to unleash the entire attacking force, right? Or maybe they'll try and form like a beachhead here to stop anyone from coming in. Because, yeah, as I said, it's only a matter of time until these guys come around, break the rest of these hoplites, and free up a lot more men. I wish I could see the numbers right now. I don't think there is a way to do it, though. It's just like cinematic mode, right? Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was a way to see, like, the casualties. I guess I only added that in Attila. So it's just a real shame. Now, the Macedonians are in full-on retreat right now, pulling back. I guess we're going to try and maybe defend like this part of the settlement because it's quite nice and open, so we can have a lot of men there. And then, so how many breaches are there into this position? So there's only 2 ways in to the central defensive position. But obviously it's multiple layered, so they'd have to break through this one and then get up and then attack this one, which again has 2. Okay, cool. So there's a very good, you know, setup. You know, I'm saying that it's not like this position is completely overrun yet, but it's looking like it's going to be. The Romans have come flying into the back of the Spartans. The lag is kind of getting a bit bad now, but hopefully you guys don't mind too much when we're doing these large-scale engagements. The Romans charging in there into the back of the infantry. Surprisingly, the Seleucid shield bearers are holding pretty nicely. Yeah, I feel like when there's, you know, this much like mayhem going on, the lag isn't too bad because it's not like it's running at a snail's pace. It's still running fine. And we've got a ton of men all clumped up, breaking through defensive positions, so I think it's fine. And hopefully you guys agree with me too. Whose cavalry is that? That is Allied cavalry, right? Yeah. That's the Kush cavalry. And for a second I thought somehow the defenders had gotten some cavalry around the side and were like hammering ambling into the back, but that was not the case. The Seleucids are advancing basically the rest of their army inside the settlement now. There is one unit right here of brave defending Seleucid infantry, and that's literally it. Yeah, this right-hand side is completely lost. Yeah, I think the walls have been taken, but the defenders are not going to be giving up these positions, like every position, without a fight. They are reforming up every single place. I love to see this. I love to see the defenders fighting for every inch of the settlement. It makes a replay so much more fun to watch, rather than like, you know, this happening and then they just go and fall back and defend this. No, they are still defending, putting up some pressure for these positions, and it's a smart move, especially if you're looking to win this, because you want to obviously waste time. You want to tire out the enemy infantry as much as you can, and you want to keep these towers online, right, as best as you can. The longer this tower shoots, the more damage it's doing. Oh, it is going up against some Astarte as well. I imagine the Spartan hoplites would be doing pretty decently against these active Astarte. Yeah, this Roman player is bringing a whole wealth. He's bringing the entire arsenal of the Roman army. Man, look at this death ball of Rome. The Roman death ball charging forward against the brave hoplites of Macedon. And some Spartans moving along in the distance. Can they not break through here? Is this like impassable terrain, or... I kind of feel like they can move here, because some units have pathed around. But then again, a lot of people, this like death wave of Romans is just smashing against them. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they can, which is going to be catastrophic. If they can just like move a unit around this flank, and then I feel for these Macedonian hoplites. I really do. As there is a lot of Romans here. And there's only one unit of Macedonians. They are defending each and every one of these positions, allowing these towers to get as many kills as possible. More of the Macedonians are getting smashed into by the Romans. And it is really up to them to try and just hold this line, because as soon as the hoplite starts to crumble, that's when they end up breaking and taking the most amount of damage. If they can keep this front line, then the hoplite will be much more effective. Especially against like these weaker Roman units like the Hastati. It's the more of this part of the Roman army that scares me the most. They're like 70 million units all clumped up. Oh, yeah, we also have some Seleucid elephants as well in the general unit. I'm excited to see what these guys get up to in the battle. The Roman general, though, the Roman legatus, he tried to channel his inner Caesar, and I think he just got absolutely smashed by all the furious spears back here of javelin throws. And there you go, that's the Roman general just gone. That's going to be pretty catastrophic for him. That's going to be really catastrophic for him. Losing the Roman general is going to really hurt morale, especially when units start to get tired. That's not going to be great. And as you can see, these towers, there's two of them right here. They're doing some decent damage against the Seleucid line. It's just they have so many more men to advance. That's the problem. And we're not really even onto the hardest part of the siege yet. And that's the thing. They still have to try and assault this position with 2 choke points to break through. Is going to be difficult. We'll probably have to cut some of this out, when we do get up to this point. It's a lot more choke pointy. But I think for the most part, this battle has been very clean. The Spartans have now advanced forward some of their pikes to help plug this gap. Now, this must be impassable terrain by the tree. It must be. Yeah, I think maybe you can move like across where these Romans are, but then it kind of cuts off there. That'd make the most amount of sense. So with the reinforcement of these Spartan pikes, they're going to be able to, definitely inflict a lot more damage. I mean, if we take a look at the kills really quickly. Yeah, you can see the Spartan pikes are already on 79 kills. I think that number is going to go up very, very quickly. They are being shot by the Kush bowmen, sorry. And then volleys are helping out. You can already see the Spartan pikemen are actually already steady. Yeah, oh yeah, look at their bows. This is one of the reasons why Kush is a really strong faction. Because their archers and their heavy infantry are really good. I mean, look at them bowwomen. Or actually, this is a mixed unit. Yeah, you've got females and males in this unit. Deadly. Yeah, you can see these volleys are clearing out the pikemen. Yeah, this line is becoming very thin. And the thing is as well that the Romans can kind of take this. You can see the balance of power is heavily shifting out of their favor as they lose more and more ground. And it's kind of important. All they need is one breaking point here. If they can get one breaking point in any of these 4 breaches, then they can quickly maneuver to help out the other ones, If this center breaks, they can quickly send them around the flank here to hit the Spartans. I mean, imagine this other Spartan unit probably has to come back and defend this river, or this pathway. And they just can't keep on coming. And the Spartans are sending more men to help out. They really don't want any of these breaches to happen. So there's some more pikemen being committed here to help out in the fight. The pikemen are doing damage, so that is great. They obviously do get very vulnerable. God, who remembers the dark days of Rome Total War on launch? Rome Total War 2 on launch, where pikemen were literally a pointy brick wall. You'd literally run an entire unit into a pike head on, and the entire unit would just die. Like, literally incinerated in seconds. They were ridiculous. Now, obviously, if you charge a pike head on, yeah, you're gonna get fucked, but like not that much, you know. It was literally like it was just instant death. It was crazy. They were definitely the dark days. Indeed. So we have some archers being brought up here to shoot this massive clump of Romans, which I think is really smart. But if we take a look off in the distance, you can see the Romans starting to do work with the support of the Seleucids. I guess the Seleucids doing work with the help of the Romans. Taking this gatehouse as well is going to be great to stop these towers from shooting. And now, as you can see, the Romans are pouring in. The Furios spears are throwing as many javelins off as they can before the lines do get hit. But Pila comes in. Oh, that dude got a headshot in the front line. Brutal stuff. There you go. They pull out their spears and prepare to engage. They have got a bit of support, though. I think there's some missile fire coming in. Yeah, there's some missile fire coming in from the far distance. Who gave that man permission to die? That's awesome. That was a good speech line. Man, I honestly forgot how much I enjoyed Rome Total War Vanilla Sieges. I don't know if you guys are the same. Let me know in the comments. Like, seriously. But like, I'm really enjoying this battle. Maybe it's just because it's a really good battle and the players are playing, you know, very, very like well, and it's like making really interesting. It's like a mix between cinematic and, you know, strategic with them defending everything. Oh yeah, oh, Seleucus is gonna throw in. Or maybe it's just like Rome Total War 2 is a very good game. It's a game I haven't really played properly in a while. You know, I mainly just played Divide et Impera. So I'd be more than happy to do more of this type of content if that's what you guys want to see. I know Apollo does quite a lot of Rome Total War Sieges. So I'd be happy if you guys want to see. And also, something I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm in desperate need of replays. I'm moving house next week, so I need as many replays as possible so that I can pre-record a bunch of epic battles for you guys. So if you have any cool Rome Total War Siege battles, or any strategic land battles, or maybe you set up a scenario or something, send them my way. You can join the Discord and send it to me on Discord, or you can just email it to me. Again, my email is down below in the description. Just let me know what mods you use, what game, what Total War game it is. And a little bit about the battle, you know. Don't spoil it for me, but, you know, tell me, like, Jackie, this is like a 45-minute battle. Both sides are doing this and that. You know, that'd be awesome, and you know, you could see yourself featured on the channel, as I do accept a ton of replays. Speaking of a ton of casualties, these Furios spears just got absolutely smacked by that javelin throw. And again, oh my god, they are getting decimated by these javelins back here. Although they're Royal Pelters, no wonder. The Royal Pelters are such so strong with the Hellenic factions. They really are. They do so much damage. How are we looking elsewhere in the battlefield? So wait, the Romans have fallen back? Wait, what? No, the Spartans have broken through here and they're charging onto the Kush archers. Wow, how the hell did this happen? We look away for 5 minutes. And the Spartans have broken the Romans. They're bringing more Hellenic cataphracts round. Oh my god, these cataphracts get involved in the main engagement, the main melee. That's going to be devastating for the attackers. How the hell did this happen? And they're going to kill all of these elite archers as well. And it seems like the attacking players haven't noticed this. I didn't notice this. They're going to come flying in and completely break these archers on the charge of the Hellenic cataphracts. Yeah, look at that charge coming in. It's going to destroy them. Yeah, their numbers are going to go down so quickly now. And they're probably going to break immediately because of these casualties. You've also got a unit of Spartan hoplites coming in the back of the Romans, which is again going to hurt them. I mean, look at the morale of the Romans. I think we could literally see a mass rout going on. They've lost their general as well. If these cataphracts come into the back, which I think is what they're trying to set up, or maybe they're going to go and try and hit these fresher units. No, the cataphracts should have gone into the back of the Romans. I mean, that's a pretty massive charge. How many kills are these guys on? 55 so far. I imagine that number's going to go up very quickly after that charge. Yeah, look at the number going. You can see the number in the left-hand corner. Or 90 kills now, and it's still going up. I think they need to charge into the back of these guys, these Romans. I mean, really, the only saving grace right now is that the the Seleucid side is doing very good, but they are also getting smashed by mercenary Cretan archers. Which, again, is probably one of the best archer unit in the game, if not the best. If not the best. Breaking more of the Romans. So, I felt like the defenders were so well ahead. I mean, sorry, the attackers were doing so great, and then all of a sudden, the balance of power has started to shift back in favor of the defenders. This is huge. The Hellenic cavalry, hammer, and anviling, like this. If this mass routes, this is like Cannae, boys. Man, this is awesome. The defenders are, really pulling out all the stops right now. Try and make this, this city hold. They do not want to give it up. With all the archer fire coming in, I'm surprised they're not shooting any fire arrows into this clump as well. The fire arrows would be really useful, maybe tipping a few of these units over the edge. These Hellenic cataphracts are falling back now. No, it took me so off guard. I was looking at it and I was like, why are these towers shooting the Seleucids? Because there's a Seleucid unit on either side, faction on either side. And I was like, oh damn. They've broken through on this side, there's nothing here. It's pretty impressive by the defenders, and they've also managed to retreat them back there. The Seleucids have lost ground, the defenders have lost ground over on this side, but obviously there's a unit of pikemen right here, Furious pikemen. So I imagine that's what the some pelters are going to be needed to break. But yeah, the defenses are holding. And the Macedonians are forming up again. But as I said, all it takes is one big break in any of these positions, and then the outer defenses do get, enveloped. Oh, in a really nice position right here by the Furious spears, shooting them aside. I think we're going to see a mass break here by the Romans. Maybe the Triarii, because they have such high morale. Yeah, if you take a look, they have 65 base morale. Yeah, they're super high. Oh, a javelin. This is a massacre. This is Cannae right here, boys. Unfortunately, though, I think one of the Macedonian defenses are very close to breaking. I think that could just save the Romans. Yeah, they're just going to pile through here. They realize that they need to get through this position because they're enveloped. They're smashed. This unit over here is on 135 kills now. The Romans are like, we need to break out of this because if we stay here, we are dead. But you obviously also have another unit of Furious spears coming to plug the gap. Ooh, archer fire coming in as well. Yeah, I mean, these Furious spears have 60 kills without even engaging. These javelins, 70 kills. These archers have 40 kills plus. Oh, but the Romans and their Kush allies have made good ground over on this side. More of the hoplites are coming in to help defend this position. And yeah, you're going to look for a big push up here. I'm not sure if you can actually burn down these towers or not. There's no way up here, right? Oh, there is a way up here. I was looking for this on the left-hand side, if I'm honest. Because yeah, there's normally the map creators always tended to do something like this in Rome Total War. So I was pretty curious if this was going to be a thing, and it is. And I think that's what the Seleucids are trying to go ahead and achieve, taking these towers and then breaking round the back and just attacking from multiple sides. Because the thing is, right now, because they're not attacking the inner layers quite yet. The defenders can kind of transition troops out of this inner layer because there's no one attacking it. But as soon as the Seleucids come in and start attacking these, secondary layers and inner layers, then the defenders kind of have to leave men back here, because if they don't, they could obviously lose the game by having this capture point taken. And that's obviously would relieve a lot of pressure over on the other side of this battle. So as you can see, the Romans have broken through now. It's only a matter of time until they're clear, but they've taken heavy casualties in this battle. Heavy casualties in this battle. But this is the Roman way after all, right? Just brute forcing your way through your opponent's lines. And they still have plenty of reserves, you know, they still have infantry to spare. The elephants are moving up as well. I feel like these elephants aren't going to do anything, and it's real sad. I feel like the elephants are going to just get focused by all the missiles immediately. And that's why it's so important to save your elephants till like the last second and deploying them. You know, just as the battle's about to like tip in one way or another, you know. It's on the scales, the battle is really close, the next move will dictate who wins it, then you commit your elephants. Which is kind of a shame because I feel like, you know, historically elephants were used to disrupt the enemy battle line, you know. If you go in, you just cause havoc, mayhem, disorganization, and then you advance forward your normal battle line, and the enemy's like all over the place, disorientated, they're not formed up. Obviously, communication was almost impossible back then in these large-scale battles. So it's kind of like the complete opposite. I guess it makes sense because the communication is completely opposite. You can see everything. You are God in these battles. There is also a lot of archers. I don't know if we can see their ammunition. It says they have ammunition on this side, on the thing. So I think these slingers do have ammo. There's no like indicator, unfortunately. But they should be able to like hit these guys, these pikemen. They did also throw up a unit of Royal Peltists as well into this engagement. I'm not sure if they're trying to maybe shoot these pikemen who had to fall back. But either way, they have been brought back into the engagement. And I think the defenders are now retreating all the way back, are they? Yeah, I think they're giving up the outer layer now. They fought very, very bravely for it, but I think that now that this position has been overrun, you know, it's only going to be, you know, a couple more minutes until the infantry has come around the side and hit these guys. And we're just going to leave some archers and a unit of Furios Spears back here. But Furios Spears, 150 kills, it's pretty decent. And I feel like the Romans are very depleted when it comes to their heavy infantry. Yeah, very, very depleted indeed. Now, that was such a good outer fight. That really was awesome. And now we're going to devolve into these, these 3 choke points, which again is not that bad, honestly. Like 1, 2, 3 choke points, and obviously you have the rear assault. As long as the attackers utilize it, which it looks like is exactly what they are doing, they should be, they should be able to assault very nicely and stretch the defenders, because the defenders don't have that many men left. They have a lot clumped up here. But besides that, they're looking pretty good. I also always think as well, in these battles, you should always save like an artillery piece to bombard the inner walls and make a breach. Because I'm pretty sure these walls can be breached by artillery. So I think it's always a great idea, if you can, just save an artillery piece for when you do get to this inner layer. Because imagine how good it would be to create another breach, like 1 or 2 breaches along this wall. It would like make this inner assault so much easier, like so much easier. So I think it's always a good idea to do that if you have the money to spare and the artillery to spare. It's always a great idea. So for now, the attackers are just going to be forming up their assaults. Let's skip ahead until they've pushed forward, reformed, and got ready to invade this inner layer. The inner assault has begun, and it's going to start off with basically a lot of archer fire coming and trying to soften up the shield walls. We have some of the armoured Kush warriors moving in to engage the Royal Spartans, and obviously the Silver Shield pikes back here as well. So very good elite units being, you know, reserved for this final stand. Pelters coming in, and there's also an artillery piece. The Romans actually still have an artillery catapult. Where is it? Set up right. Also, Kush also has a African heavy onager unit. So I think they should honestly try and make another breach in the walls. I think at the moment they're mainly focused on destroying this artillery, this piece of tower. But honestly, destroying some more wall space to make more breaches is honestly not a bad idea. The Romans have also advanced heavily up against the Macedonians in this flank. And then we have an assault round here. I haven't quite initiated it yet, but honestly, I think they should throw in as soon as possible, because the longer they stay here, you know, the harder it's going to be. But they are making pretty good progress. I think pikemen in Rome 2 are in a pretty good place. Heavy infantry can eventually break their way through. It's not like they're never going to be able to kill these pikes, but they're obviously going to put up a lot of good defense here in this choke point. And these pikes are looking pretty small as well. I think there's a lot of slinger fire coming in. Yeah, there's a huge clump of slingers here from the Seleucids. I think these are Persian slingers. And they have pretty good vision there. They can quite easily hammer away at the pikes. That's exactly what they're focusing down. And the pikes are down to, they've lost 60 men so far. Or 55 to be exact. More artillery rounds coming in. And the artillery is also doing some good damage to these Furial spears back here. Lots of arrow fire. Yeah, the Romans and the Seleucids are going to fall back from here and allow their missiles to try and soften up this position. You know, it's going to be very deadly. And I think if anyone has javelins left, they'll be committed. The Romans are being brought up, though, to try and break in. They're very tired. So they're not going to be doing a great job. And they're just going to be charging into a pretty deadly defensive wall of pikes and Spartan hoplites. Well, I can't imagine this is going to go well for them at all. But maybe they're just looking to try and tire up some men or do something. Also, is there an artillery piece for the defenders somewhere? Or was that a friendly? I think it must have been friendly artillery there, because that is like a big boulder has just ripped through this line. So I guess maybe, because I can't see a defensive onager anywhere, so that must have been friendly fire. Romans are breaking again. Not having your general is so painful. Yeah, you can see the Romans are going to mass rout here, and I think that might be, you know, a massive blow. The Macedonian Cretan archers are set up here as well. Over 200 kills on these guys. And as you can see, it's basically a turkey shoot for these Cretan archers. They're in such a good position, and they can just help the battle so much. And even here, a lot of these, I mean, they're padding their stats right now. They're padding their KDA by shooting these routing units. Balance of power, though, is still very much in favour of the attackers, which is always good to see. That's what you want to see. But this assault here is running out of steam very quickly. And there's not really that much left to send, right? You've got 2 more units of silver shield pikes, which you can commit. I think some more reinforcements are going to have to be sent. The Seleucids are advancing here, and what are they coming up against? So you've got 3 units of shield bearers going up against a unit of pikemen. Yeah, it's going to be a hard fight, unless all these guys have their javelins still left remaining. Actually, I don't even know if shield bearers get javelins. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. If they have javelins still left remaining, though, this unit will melt and they can break through with their elite hoplites. But we'll have to see how they do perform. And this side is basically just letting the arrow fire come in as well. So right now, the attack is kind of running out of steam, but you can definitely re-alight, because they have, you know, a lot of reserves back here. You know, there's, what, 6 or 7 units of swordsmen here that can quickly be brought up to the front. You have, you know, obviously a decent general unit here of Royal Guard. They can be quite easily thrown in. So I think Kush just needs to advance for their reinforcements, and they need to go for, like, one big last push. Lots more javelins as well. Armored warriors, yeah, these javelins are racking up the kills. Over 200 kills already on these guys. Holy crap. I think that number is only increasing as well. Unless they've literally just run out of ammunition, which I really hope. No, it seems like they're still going. Yeah, more kills being racked up there as well. They'll also be doing HP damage as well, which will make it just easier for the other infantry to come through as well. And I think like these mercenary Rhodian slingers have run out of ammunition. Maybe these Cretan archers are out of ammunition now. I'm not too sure. How are they faring here? So I don't think they do have any javelins left over on this side, which is a real shame, because if they did, it would have made this assault much easier. They're trying to break through Macedonian pikes with hoplites. I honestly don't know how well that's going to go. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously, if you have enough numbers, maybe you can just pull your way through and just forego the casualties that you'd receive by running through. We'll have to see how this does develop, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to like strongly break through this. Another huge thing as well is if all these guys have javelins left on them, because they do get like a javelin throw, right, or not? Can I see if it says they have ammunition, then they do. None of these guys seem like they do have ammunition, which is a shame. It'd be amazing if they did have a javelin throw. But either way, more reinforcements are being brought up. You've got some more archers, which I imagine are all out of ammunition. The infantry have now clashed against the front line, but it's just so brutal to try and break up a position of Royal Spartans and Pikes. This is when you need some of like the Roman Scorpions to rip through these positions, because the Roman Scorpions would make some pretty big damage, like big indents into this shield wall. And really, all they can do now is just grind away. They have no other real cause but to grind away. And that's why I think if you can, I'm not sure if these walls can create breaches, but I think they can. That's what I'm saying. Like, you make a breach back here, you completely forego like these really close choke points. I mean, if they can just break in here, you know, a lot of the soldiers left remaining for the defenders are just archers, right? If you can get into combat with these archers, you severely reduce their numbers. They're going to be charging back here as well. And as you can see here, they are just pulling through. So they should take a lot of casualties trying to pull through. Because they have such a heavy weight of infantry, they can effectively do this. You can see, because basically as you pull through a unit, you take a lot of casualties because you're basically walking forward and getting struck by other infantry. And it only really works if the defenders don't have a lot of men. Like if it's just one thin line, you can punish it. But as soon as the defenders put in like these other two units, then we're absolutely fine. And you can see they're actually going to pull back these pikemen again. A pretty smart move here by the defenders, pulling back their pikemen. And they've got a lot of soldiers here, so it should be almost impossible for the attackers to pull through. It probably is impossible for the attackers to pull through against 3 full units. I just don't really see it happening. Have these guys got any ammunition left? No, I think they're all out of ammunition. Yeah, it's a real shame there's no like extra siege towers or anything to like bring up here. It would be nice if you could like, instead of the wheeled ladders, it'd be really cool if you could actually deploy some of the ladders. You know, if you guys remember from Rome 1, they used to carry like 4 ladders in like columns up to the walls. And I think that'd be like a really cool siege equipment in this game, because you could use it like, you could have your like wheeled ones, which no one has here, but you could have like your siege towers and your wheeled ladders to attack the outer wall. And then when you get in, it'd be cool to be able to bring up some other ladders to like, you know, attack these inner walls and stuff. I think that'd make sieges really fun. But yeah, I mean, this is just a brutal assault right now. Yeah, they've completely dominated this other side. You can see the rest of the reinforcements of Kush coming up, but yeah, they are struggling in every single side, and I think the attackers, unless they can make a breach soon, have just run out of steam. The attackers are done for. I skipped ahead a bunch of minutes just because there wasn't really much going on. It was just them throwing themselves against the elite walls, and yeah, now the Seleucids have some of their heavy cataphracts out of the main defenses, and they're charging in and cutting down these Kush infantry as they just throw in against the Spartan walls. This is what you kind of really needed to save your artillery for, and your javelins and your missiles, to break through positions like this, because it is almost impenetrable. Yeah, you got the elite Hellenic cavalry, the Macedonian cavalry, just causing mayhem back here, and I guess sending the attackers back to whence they came. Another charge coming in there, rear charging, making some pretty good ground, and I imagine that's also going to really hurt the morale. Over on this side as well, you can see the defense was basically forted. There was no way they would break through, so they decided just to fall back the rest of their infantry and try and make one big push with their elephants and everything else. So the elephants are going to come in, and we are going to be able to see them being used in this fight. Oh, there you go. I mean, speak of the devil. You actually have soldiers reacting to stuff on the battlefield. That's cool. I mean, it's very far and few behind, but it's still very cool to see it. The fire arrows coming in immediately, though, as the elephants break in. Oh, baby. Yes, as I said, there's just so much javelin fire coming in, and all the elephants do just end up dying. to like all the volleys. Like these guys just save ammunition for the elephants and then immediately melt them. So unfortunately that was very, very anticlimactic. But the attackers are coming in for one final push. But yeah, I just don't really see them here. You can see the balance of power is pretty much, you know, 60-70% in favor of the defenders now. And when that tends to happen in a battle that's gone on this long, you can really tell there's no way they're breaking through. They still have plenty of reserves back there. So it seems like the defenders are going to be able to hold out in this one. That was an amazing battle. I'm very glad. Because I saw Rome 2. Do I really want to do Rome 2? Oh, it's an hour long. Do I really want to do an hour long replay on Rome 2? Hell yeah, I do. I take back everything I thought to myself before loading up this replay. Because this has been a lot of fun. And hopefully I can get some more for you guys if you want to see it, obviously. Because, yeah, it's been really awesome. And if there is a lot of love for Rome 2, I'm happy just to, you know, do a bunch of really cool battles for you guys. So you can see them being committed in. Just the last little charge. I think there's only like a minute left of this battle. Probably just like triple speed. Oh, guys don't like it. It's really weird when you like triple speed in Rome. It like gets really jumpy. So we can just watch the last minute of this replay. So I think what happens is a replay does end up going to the 60-minute time limit, which I think is good. I think it's good to have a time limit on these battles just so they don't go on for like forever, you know. Because I feel like at this point of the battle, it's been determined, you know. In like 90% of the cases, the battle's been determined before the 60 minutes is up. So you can kind of have a good idea. And if it's not, then it kind of just means that the attackers have something to work towards as well. When I tend to play head-to-heads, we always put battle time on 40 minutes, so it really forces the attackers to be quick. And it also gives the defenders like a good chance to hold out as well for the 40 minutes. It makes for some exciting gameplay. So I definitely think the timer is there, and there you go. The timer does hit 60 minutes, and the defenders were unable to take the settlement in that time. And it was a costly victory. So as you can see, that was one massive engagement. We had, what, 4,000, 5,000 Romans. Yeah, there was a lot of Romans in that battle. Yeah, there was a hell of a lot. There's like over 20,000 soldiers in this battle. 23,000 by just looking at it. And a lot of kills. So who racked up the most kills? What unit did the most? 221 kills on the slingers. The Seleucids, their general, 290 kills, obviously. That rear charges were brutal. And then for the Spartans, it was just kind of all their infantry doing pretty good. Over on the attacking side, the Romans, yeah, you know their legionaries, over 230 kills. This one with over 214. Pretty disgusting indeed. The Kingdom of Kush, 400 kills. Oh, come on. Come on, Kush. You had one job. Oh my god. Hold on, back to my joke. You had one job. All this unit had to do was kill 7 more men, and it would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. But also, holy crap, this is why people play as Kush, because 745 kills on this unit of armoured Scatel warriors. What even is it? Like, what? 700 kills? When did that even happen? And then finally for the attacking Seleucids, unfortunately they didn't really manage to rack up a ton of kills on any of their units. A few of their Ferox swordsmen with over 100. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, as I said multiple times in the video, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.